energy that these young people have. And they have energy. We're all like that. When I was 17, 18, 19, I had energy. All right? I didn't have a full-time job. I'm a student. All I can do is put my mind
There's something
to it,
about
and
them
I'm
just
enthusiastic.
meeting, like in groups and talking about it.
Energetic, man.
Yeah.
It's so energetic and it's wonderful. And the best of things in this world have happened because young people have put their mind to it and said, I want to do something about it. So it's not fundamentally a bad thing.
It's where you want to place that energy.
Yeah. It's how you
what way
place
of
that
thinking.
energy.
Yeah.
And to guide it, the problem is you've got oftentimes elder academics, Marxists, communists, who are like poking the bear, telling them, hey, you know what? You're oppressed. You know what most likely is going to happen? They're going to rape you. All the men just want to rape you. Oh my God. Yep, they just want to rape you. And all the whites, they just want to lynch you.
Right.
And all the straighties, they just want to bash you to death. Scare, fear, worry. And what happens when you get, what happens when you put a dog in a corner? It barks and it bites.
Right.
Bites you, man. What happens when you do something to a person?
Jeez. Look, yeah, I really haven't given that much thought just because I haven't been exposed to it in my general way of living. Like the people around me don't really give a fuck. They know intention.
But this is the problem. Yeah. This is the problem.
It's not a problem till it becomes a problem.
And then it's a real problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you don't exist in that space, you're right, it's not a problem. But the issue with that is that before, it's that, where I was not, I was not a trade unionist. So when they came for the trade unionist, when they came for the trade unionist, I did not care because I was not a trade unionist. And then when they came for the Jews, I did not care. And then when they came for me, there was no one who did.
That's that. Yeah.
That's the problem. So you've got to nip in the bud this cultural issue.
It's always someone else's problem until it's yours.
Exactly. Well,
or like it's your family's, right?
That's really quite a selfish
But that's
thing.
how we think usually.
But a more compassionate. Yeah, See, this is the problem, isn't it? People talk about being compassionate, but they're really just caring about their own. So, set an example, and I'm trying to. Like, I'm not trans. I'm not gay. Neither is my wife. Neither are my sons. We're not black. We're not Aborigines. We're immigrants. Okay, but that's low on the victim scale. I'm middle class. I'm middle class. I have a much better life than my parents ever had. I have a much nicer house. I have much nicer things. I travel to much nicer holiday destinations. So I'm very, very lucky, man. I feel I've had an upward life.
Yeah.
Upward mobility. Okay? So I think things are great. But I can see on the horizon what's happening. I can see that my sons will never be able to afford a house next to me. And I live in the suburbs, mate. I live in real middle class Australia. And my sons will never be able to afford next to me. That's a financial crisis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if they get great jobs, I'm worried that the schooling system is failing, and it is failing.
Oh, we can.
The education
let's not bring up that.
But just very quickly,
that next podcast.
The education standards are in this country just going down. It is not the fault of individual teachers. It is the fault of those who are in charge. The system. And I, as a parent, and I, as an Australian, I understand that. And I'm not ever blaming teachers, because unfortunately teachers are just like servants of the state, to be quite honest. And I'm worried about...
They've got a curriculum they have to
provide, to present to the students. And I'm scared about the cultural narrative in this society.
Just not open up that can of worms of education.
I'm not, man. That's why I moved over. So, and I'm worried about the cultural narrative in this society. That we're a society of victims, that there's the boogeyman out to get me. And, when you don't know your enemy, you lash out and you end up cutting up people that had nothing to do with hurting you. And you hurt people that had nothing to do with hurting you. And that's what I'm seeing happening now in Australian society. It is small. It is maybe insignificant, but you don't wait until, there's a bullet in your head before you realise.
So do you feel that you can sense that in schooling with your children?
My sons are in private schools, which basically in Australia means non-public. It doesn't necessarily mean $30,000 a year schools. I cannot afford $30,000 a year schools, but I don't sense that yet. However, there have been big pushes here in Australia to inject certain curriculum to, like safe schools to teach about, it's okay to be trans. If you're a boy and you feel like you're a girl, that's okay. Which it's not. It's absolute fucking bullshit.
We can sit. We have to sit down and have nearly 3 hours in. Yeah. We can open up like so many cans right now and just discuss them for a couple of hours.
If I had to, like, again,
but XXXY, but it's more. I think it's just a little more complicated than that.
Oh, it's always more complicated than what you think. But I think again, the thing that I get concerned about always is this push for acceptance, which goes beyond, accepting what is different. It's now accepting what isn't real. And I tell people this, and people laugh at me. There is going to be a day in this country, in Australia, all right, mark my words, where a person comes out and says...
We're going to end on this.
Where a person says, I identify as a different race. Like, we're going to have something where a white man or woman in this country, like an Anglo-Australian, says, I identify as a full Aborigine.
So he is pretty much denying
his racial heritage.
Whoa.
Okay? Just as much as someone says, I identify as a woman or identify as a man.
I hope you are wrong.
No, and I'll tell you why I know it's going to happen, because it's already happened in America. Look up the name Rachel Duzanol.
She denied that she's a man. But then you've got another dude that claims he's a 4-year-old.
Don't worry about the 4-year-old. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because not only has Rachel Duzanol in America, a white woman with white parents, claimed that she's Pan-African, like her race is, she identifies as black. I thought it was just crazy, and everyone would just laugh at her.
Yep.
There are now African Americans who, in their desire to be open-minded and accepting, are saying, you know what? Who am I to tell her what race she is? Who am I to tell her what race she identifies as? I heard this with my own ears, bro. With my own ears. This African American woman is on YouTube. She goes, if Rachel Duzanol identifies as black, and she says, I feel like I have experienced the full experience of blackness, who am I to tell her? No, she hasn't.
Yes,
the fact that that's happened amongst African Americans, bro, the descendants of West African slaves.
But you know what the problem is, Albert?
Wow.
I'll tell you.
Wow.
As soon as you say something, anything, you can say the most ridiculous thing, the chances that someone's going to agree with you is quite high. We've got such
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a group of people.
But the problem, this is the thing. If I come out and say, aliens abducted me and I'm actually an alien and, I was put into a human body.
And then you can start Scientology. You can start Scientology.
But, some crackpot might go, well.
Yeah.
When people start fucking around with their actual identity, all right? And when we put identity as the central aspect of who we are, and therefore how you should relate to me, that's a fucking dangerous mix. Because and people are a lot smarter than me have said this. If anyone can be a woman, then being a woman means nothing. And right now, we're creating a society in this whole trans movement where anyone can be a woman.
Yeah.
So then being a woman means nothing.
Taking away that uniqueness.
The uniqueness.
Yeah.
Being a woman used to mean XX chromosomes, ovaries, menstruation, periods, menopause, birth giving.
Maybe later, if you don't have XX chromosomes, you'll be like a knockoff woman, a woman in China. That stigma will
But
have.
you know what? What do you do with, I'm black, I'm Aborigine, I'm actually a midget, I'm actually 10. Actually, bro, we don't need to wait till the day. We don't need to wait till the day when a pedophile says, I'm actually a 16-year-old girl, and the fact that I'm having sex with another 16-year-old girl,
but I feel
that's just my level.
There's a clear distinction between putting someone else at harm.
No. Stop.
No,
Stop saying there's a clear difference. Because
I
10
feel that
years
as soon
ago,
as there's a victim,
10 years ago, if you said that there's going to be a family in this country who's going to encourage their 8-year-old to inject themselves with chemicals to
that's a
transition
victim to
their
me.
body.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. And
That to me is a victim.
And it happened.
Yeah.
And you've got these parents going, well, if little Billy thinks that he's a girl, then he's a girl. And who are we to question it? You fucking idiots. You're your parents. Don't tell the 8-year-old to say what. Mate, my 8-year-old thinks he's a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah,
Don't fucking go, oh, yeah, you're
I
a
wanted
Ninja
to
Turtle.
marry the crush I had in year 4.
Okay. But your parents didn't go, oh, do you?
Ridiculous.
I better go ask for her hand in marriage.
Yeah.
Bro, again, please, everyone, look at not what you think will happen, but what has already happened to help predict what will happen. We already have a society where things that we thought were fucking nut job, crazy, would never happen shit, has already happened. Why don't we think? We've got to stop what will come. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.
All right. Thank you very much, Albert. I'm going to have you back, and we're going to talk about other stuff like religion and stuff.
Education.
Oh, really, yeah, we're going to.
That's a big thing for me, man, as a dad. So, yeah, I'd love to talk about that.
Thank you very much, Albert.
Bro, loved it.